and the helicopter drops.
Meanwhile, a potentially dangerous situation in Texas, with excessive heat and high humidity gripping the state, where temps could reach as high as 112 degrees. The grid operator urging residents to conserve electricity as the heat wave drives up demand. I'm Chris Wynn reporting.
The first over-the-counter birth control pill could be available soon in the United States. HRA Pharma announced today it submitted an application to the FDA to make its birth control pill called Opill available over the counter. If the application is approved, it would be the first daily birth control pill available without prescription in the U.S. The company said in a news release from the switch to prescription would help even more women access contraception without unnecessary barriers. Doctors and prescribers told CNN they were seeing an increase in demand for different forms of contraception, including early contraception and longer-lasting birth control. The Ukrainian embassy in Prague has put damaged Russian weapons on display. The embassy says the aim is to keep up awareness of the war in Ukraine. Among the hardware on exhibit are tanks, anti-aircraft system, and even rockets and missiles, all lost or damaged in Ukraine. Scientists are searching for solutions after several studies showed pulse oximeters don't work as well for people of color. The device, invented in 1974, reads your blood oxygen level by shining a light through your finger. Recent research adds to a growing body of research dating back to the 1980s that suggests flawed pulse oximeter readings among patients with darker skin tones can be a real and life-threatening issue. Flawed readings could lead to someone getting discharged even though they needed additional care and oxygen support. Among the attempts to address the issue, the FDA plans to convene a meeting of its medical device advisors later this year to evaluate how the devices may yield inaccurate oxygen readings among people of color. A group protesting government overreach has assembled on the National Mall over the last few days, even though they don't have a permit. Rafael Sanchez Cruz reports on what they want.
The government is using fear to take away our freedom.
We're here, it's day 5. We were told a lot of people said we weren't going to be here, and we're here, and we're gonna stay.
With each day, the 1776 Restoration Movement's presence grows on the National Mall, despite not having a permit.
We're going to fight to bring back our constitutional republic and bring back morality to our country.
It's an offshoot of the People's Convoy, and they say they have a similar list of grievances.
Some problems with the southern border, right? You look around and the stock market's in the toilet, and so we're wondering, what's going on over here? What's going on with our elected and appointed officials?
Last Wednesday, police arrested their leader, David Riddell. He was charged with blocking area roads in Maryland on the 4th of July. They've since regrouped along Madison Drive. Protesters say they plan to avoid further issues with police by moving vehicles and paying for parking meters. And they also say their protest plans don't involve violence.
None of us want any kind of violence. We do not want violence. We're telling people do not bring weapons. We do not want to storm the Capitol or take any public building. We do not want to overthrow the government.
Organizers said they don't have an end date for the protests, and they plan to continue protesting there even if park police ask them to leave. A bumpy landing caused a fire on an Atlanta runway. Passengers were shaken when a Spirit Airlines plane brakes caught on fire and smoke appeared in the air early Sunday morning. This fire was captured on cameras inside and outside of the plane. Passengers shouted, quote, "Its brakes are on fire, left brakes are on fire," end quote. The jet had just touched down, flying in from Tampa, when its brake pads reportedly overheated. Emergency crews were able to respond and quickly put out the flames. And the airline says all passengers safely deplaned with no injuries. A closer look at how heat could interact with your medication this summer. That story's still ahead.
We are having a beautiful sunny day. Will that continue? Find out more in my full weather forecast.
This is the hardest, most complex telescope humanity has ever built.
1,000,000 miles from Earth.
We tested and we tested and we tested. We have to get it right. We can't go fix it.
Peering deeper into the cosmos than ever before.
It's a telescope that can see back to the Big Bang.
What will the first images reveal?
This is going to be transformative.
Ultimate Space Telescope on Nova.
Wednesday at 9 on WOUB.
100 years ago, the journalist Lowell Thomas told the story of and created one of the first media superstars, Lawrence of Arabia. In the 1930s, Lowell Thomas hosted the most listened to radio newscast and the most popular newsreel, bringing the news of the world to Americans. For the first time, Americans shared the same news at the same time. Lowell Thomas was the voice of America.
Saturday at 9 on WOUB.
On the Great American Recipe.
This week, we'll be focusing on ready-to-go meals.
I've got this game. I'm feeling completely confident. Judges wanted heat.
You're making peanut sauce?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I would not have gotten up against you today. Tony's going in a completely different direction than anything we've seen before.
Welcome to Cooking with Tony here. I need to make sure that there's no mistakes.
I just want to present the best food I can make to the judges.
The Great American Recipe, Friday at 9, 8 Central on PBS and the PBS app.
Next time on Antiques Roadshow, we've got treasures with some of the luckiest tales.
My father won it during World War II in a poker game.
The most drama.
It says sole survivor of Mount Pelée volcano. The volcano was in 1902. It wiped out the entire town of St. Pierre.
And the most intriguing backstories in the country.
Shut the front door, girl.
Tune in to Antiques Roadshow, American Stories. Monday at 8 on WOUB.
Hello and welcome back. In Athens today, it is a high of 87 with a low of 69. We had a beautiful, beautiful sunny day today. And today we see that in the southeastern region that we are under a general storm watch or risk, however, but no need to be worried because there are no signs of rain or storms in sight today. And in our local radar, there is, as I said, no rain, no storm. So if you have not got a chance to go outside, make sure you do. Drink plenty of water, hang out with your family. It's a great day to do that in Athens or in the surrounding cities. Looking at our regional radar, we see that we have some winds coming in from the west, cooling us off a little bit on this sunny day in the southeastern region of the state. And looking at tonight, we have a low of 69 degrees. So if you are planning on going outside, make sure that you have a small jacket with you. It's not going to be too cold, but you never know. And partly cloudy today, so no rain should mess up your plans if you do plan on going outside. And for tomorrow, we are going to have a high of 86 and a low of 62. So a little bit cooler than it was today. However, the difference between today and tomorrow is that we have a slight chance of rain. So if you are going to go outside, make sure that you have a raincoat or an umbrella in your car. Looking at our 7-day outlook, we see that we are ranging in the mid-80s all week. So no 90s, so no scorching temperatures as we've seen in the past. However, we are going to get some rain on Tuesday, Sunday, and Monday. We are seeing some rain in the midweek with temperatures at 86 on Tuesday, 84 on Wednesday and Thursday, 88 Saturday, Sunday, 85 on Friday and Monday. With lows, we do see that we have 58 on Thursday. That is the coldest day of the week, so make sure that you grab a jacket and plan and dress accordingly. As I said earlier, we are going to see some rain, so if you are planning on going out, make sure that you grab an umbrella for this weekend. If you have any plans, you should be fine on Friday and Saturday. However, on Sunday, make sure that you plan accordingly because there are some chance of rains. And through the week, as I said, it is going to be sunny, so if you have a chance, make sure you get out and go outside and enjoy your family. And that is all I have for my full weather forecast. Back to you, Maria.
Thanks, Jada. Temperatures continue to soar for millions of Americans, but certain medications can make the heat even more dangerous. Mandy Aether has more on how to protect yourself from some related side effects of certain medicines.
A heat wave continues to crash over much of the U.S., and mixing those soaring temperatures with some medications could cause major problems.
Sometimes the reaction may take weeks to months for it to fade.
Dr. Riza Conroy with the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center says some medications that don't go well with the sun include some antibiotics, antidepressants, antihistamines, anti-inflammatories, and medications for blood pressure and diabetes. For diabetics, Conroy says bring a cooler when you're out, as heat can degrade insulin and other medicines.
Put the medication, especially insulin, in the cooler and keep it nice, cool, and dark.
Conroy says sun-related side effects of medications usually develop about 24 to 72 hours after sun exposure and may appear to be an exaggerated sunburn.
It looks red, sometimes scaly, sometimes itchy, and sometimes when it's really bad, blisters and spots that resemble hives.
When possible, Conroy says to take the medicine before bed instead of in the morning and follow the Sun Smart steps. Slip on clothing that covers the body. Slop on SPF 15 to 30 or higher broad-spectrum water-resistant sunscreen. Slap on a hat. Seek shade and avoid the sun between 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. and slide on sunglasses with UV protection and side panels. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
If the sun causes a reaction, Conroy says to talk to your doctor. They may have you stop taking your medication or lower the dose.
The Copperheads are in play against the Licking County Settlers right now. But how are they playing? Find out when Newswatch returns. And be sure to stay tuned to WOUB. Here's a look at what is coming up on your public television station.
This is incredible.
On Finding Your Roots, comedian Andy Samberg.
This is a great story.
Author, Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin.
That's shocking.
Family Stories.
What are the odds of that?
Turned upside down.
People were pretty good at keeping secrets in those days.
Big time. Ancestors found.
It's finally something my mom gets to know.
And lost.
I'm descended from mystery.
Finding Your Roots.
Tuesday at 8 on WOUB.
This is the hardest, most complex telescope humanity has ever built.
1,000,000 miles from Earth.
We tested and we tested and we tested. We have to get it right. We can't go fix it.
Peering deeper into the cosmos than ever before.
It's a telescope that can see back to the Big Bang.
What will the first images reveal?
This is going to be transformative.
Ultimate Space Telescope on Nova.
Wednesday at 9 on WOUB.
In early 2020, frontline workers and families in Wuhan, China, unite to confront an emerging crisis. An intimate portrait of love in a time of uncertainty. Wuhan, Wuhan, on POV.
Monday at 10 on WOUB.
Here is another secret world that is almost always hidden from us.
The Copperheads are currently facing the Licking County Settlers in the first game of the doubleheader at Denison University Field. They trailed the Settlers to 6-2 in the 6th inning. The Copperheads have faced the Settlers 3 times this season and lost each time. Southern Ohio lost the most recent game with a score of 13-6. If the team wins these next 2 games, they would move up in the Southern Division standings. The first pitch of the game is the doubleheader is set for 8:05 p.m. Ohio softball is looking for a new head coach. Kenzie Rourke resigned last Thursday after spending the past 4 seasons as the head coach for Ohio University's softball team. Rourke led the Bobcats to a second-place conference standing last season. She finished the 2022 season going 23-25 overall and going 17-10 in conference play. The Pittsburgh Steelers' home stadium is getting a new name. Pittsburgh announced a $57 million 15-year deal with Michigan-based insurance company Acrisure today. The name is set for change for the upcoming season. Novak Djokovic took his 7th title at Wimbledon in 21st Grand Slam win. Number 1 seed Novak Djokovic took the men's single title against the unseeded Nick Kyrgios. The two went into a 4-set match with Kyrgios winning the first set and Djokovic winning the last 3 and the last set being a tiebreaker. The men's singles and women's doubles finals occurred yesterday. For women's doubles, number 2 seed Katrina Siniakova and Barbara Krejcikova defeated number 1 seed Chung Shaiwei and Elise Martins. Siniakova and Krejcikova won with just 2 sets to take the gold. This is the Czech duo's second Wimbledon doubles title after having won last year's women's doubles title. The Guardians start their 3-game series against the Chicago White Sox tonight at Progressive Field. The first pitch is set for 7:10 p.m. The Guardians will finish the rest of the series tomorrow with Game 2 taking place at 1:10 p.m. and the third game is set for 7:10. The Guardians currently hold the number 2 spot in the AL division, with the White Sox barely trailing in the number 3 spot in the division. The last time the Guardians faced the White Sox was in mid-April and they won all 3 games, winning 11-1, 2-1, and 6-3. The Guardians are looking to get out of their losing drought with these upcoming games against Chicago. The Reds are on a winning streak after facing the Tampa Bay Rays. The Reds added another win to their record yesterday at Great American Ballpark after defeating the Tampa Bay Rays with a score of 10-5. The top contributing players of the game include catcher Tyler Stevenson with 3 hits, 2 RBIs, and 1 run, and designated hitter Donovan Solano with 3 runs, 1 RBI, and 1 run. After sweeping the Rays in a 3-game series this past weekend, the Reds are currently in a 4-game winning streak and looking to add another game tomorrow night when they face the Yankees at Yankee Stadium. I'm Jensen Neck, and that's it for sports. Back to you, Maria.
Thanks, Jensen. Sotheby's, New York is auctioning off the skeleton of a Gorgosaurus, which is cousin to the T-Rex. This carnivore lived on the Earth around 77 million years ago during the Cretaceous period. The fossil is 10 feet tall and 22 feet long, and it was discovered in 2018 in Montana. It is expected to sell for around $8 million. The skeleton will go on display starting July 21st at Sotheby's York Avenue Galleries. The auction begins a week later. And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching.
Hi, I'm here with your final weather, and tonight we see a low of 69 degrees, partly cloudy. As I said, if you have any plans, make sure that you put a jacket on. For tomorrow, we have a high of 86, a low of 62. And for our 7-day outlook, we are ranging mid-80s, sunny during the midweek, and raining on the weekend. Make sure that you plan according to the weather. And that's all for final weather. Back to you, Maria.
And now that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. For Jada Respris and Jensen Neck, I'm Maria Manessi. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at WOUB.org. Have a great night.
Support comes from Dean Heating and Cooling, keeping homes cool all summer with Tempstar. Dean Heating and Cooling provides HVAC service and installation in the Athens area, featuring